you guys? It's the Donna Elizabeth, and I am back with a video that I have not done in so long. And today I'm going to be doing a what I eat in a day video. And so before we get started with cooking, eating, logging, let's just go over some basic things. The way I lost the weight is by being in a caloric deficit. And in simplest terms, in the simplest way to describe it, being in a caloric deficit allows your body to eat less than you burn off. 3,500 calories equal about 1 pound of fat. So if you burn about 3,500 calories, with the difference between what you worked off, basically because your body burned calories just on GP, and then with you exercising, which causes more calories to be burned off, and then what you eat minus that. Okay, and that will give you the caloric deficit. That's essentially what you want, and it's science. So whether you're doing keto, whether you're doing intermittent fasting, if you are eating more than your body is burning off, then it will be kind of hard for you to lose the weight. So that's what I've been doing. And if you have been having trouble on how to figure out what is your caloric deficit, please send me an email in the details below or message me on Instagram, and I can get you set up with a nutrition plan and we can figure out your caloric deficit. But besides the point, let's go over a couple of tracking tips. First things first, one thing with me is I like to have my day planned out. So the day before, I sit in my bed right before I go to sleep and I say, done. What do you want to eat today? And I will literally sit there and log out my whole day of foods. Doing this is very helpful for me because I don't have to wait to the last minute to figure out what do I want to eat, or trying to figure it out at the last minute. And sometimes when you wait to the last minute and you're starving, you could go for very unhealthy, last minute, not the best option choices, and that's what we want to avoid. So plan your day ahead, and if you're a person who loves to meal prep, this will be very helpful for you because on a Sunday you could take some time out, meal prep it all out, weigh everything. And one thing about MyFitnessPal is once you begin to log things on the daily, it will already be in your log history, and all you have to do is just plug it in really quickly. And for people who are having trouble with logging, you guys, don't try to make it so perfect with logging, because when I first started, I didn't use a food scale, so pretty much a lot of things that I was tracking was probably not accurate. But it was a process. It was a process of getting into the habit of tracking, and then eventually I worked my way up to a food scale. But if you're looking to be accurate with your caloric deficit, being on top of how much you're intaking, making sure you're aware, being mindful, then I would definitely suggest getting a food scale, because 1 tablespoon of peanut butter is very different from 2 tablespoons. And sometimes the eyes cannot see that, and the food scale will tell you the difference. So, and people who don't like tracking, like I say, put yourself on a 21-day schedule. Say, for these 21 days, I will track every single day. Whether I track it right, I'm just going to track it. I'm going to write down in there everything that I eat. And most of the times, MyFitnessPal literally have everything from fast foods to restaurants. And even if they don't, you could always find something in the app that's similar to it. Like, say, if you go to a restaurant and you get salmon, I'm pretty sure you can't really weigh the salmon, but I would say kind of log it a little bit higher, just because when you eating out, you never really know what they're putting in the food as far as extra butter, extra sugar, all the extra stuff that you do not know, that you don't have your food scale to weigh. So in order to avoid that, just log it a little bit higher. But at the same time, it takes practice. Logging every day, being mindful of what you're eating, and it will get to the point where when I eat my breakfast, I pretty much eat the same breakfast, the same series of breakfast every single day. Either it's gonna be a sandwich, a breakfast taco, breakfast quesadilla, some French toast, some waffles, an omelet. It always range between those same things, and I literally know the calorie amount for everything I put in my breakfast. Now later in the day, different, because I switch up my lunch and I switch up my dinner a lot. But for breakfast, I could log it in my head. But that took practice. That took being consistent with logging, staying on top of it. And you guys, if you want to accurately monitor your body's weight loss, being in a caloric deficit is it. And if you're a person who's trying to gain weight, being in a caloric surplus will get you where you want to be. Because the key is, if you're trying to gain weight, then you have to be eating more than your body is working off. So I know that was a lot. And I know I said a lot, but y'all, it's science. You can look it up on the internet if you're trying to get more information on what a caloric deficit is. And I plan on making a video, sitting down, explaining it all the way through. Explaining it all the way through. Explaining like about macros, tracking your calories. It's all science, you guys. But with that being said, enough of all this education. But I hope that was helpful. Let's get into what I eat today.
I can't help but notice your pain. Share it.
So for breakfast, I was feeling either a breakfast sandwich or breakfast quesadilla, and I went with the quesadilla. So I know a lot of people be having trouble with hitting their protein goal a lot throughout the day, and my tip is to make sure each meal you have a significant amount of protein. And when I say a significant amount of protein, make sure your protein outweigh your carbs, but not, still getting those carbs, but make a way to where your protein outweigh the carbs. And so that's what I pretty much do. Make sure every time I eat a meal, my protein outweigh the carbs. And so one way to do that is find you a lean protein source. And so usually what I do for breakfast is egg whites. And a lot of people talk about me because I weigh all my stuff in ounces, and that's just because I always weigh everything in ounces because that's how I remember the calorie counts. But it's always easy to do it in grams, but hey, that's what I do. Okay, so I weigh this, and like I said, I've done this so many times of weighing it so that it's always easier for me to just log it. So I weigh this on the food scale, and then pretty much what I'm going to put in it is, so I can have my extra vegetables, I'm going to be putting spinach, and literally I make this an all-meat quesadilla. I do some microwave bacon, you guys, and Morningstar maple flavor sausage. So this is vegetarian sausage, you guys. It has no meat in it. And then I'm going to do this ultra thin honey ham, and I will show you guys how I log everything. I'm going to be using two types of cheese, y'all, because I'm addicted to cheese. Sorry. I'm gonna be using sliced cheese, and then I'm gonna top it off with a little mozzarella. And so another way is to make sure that your protein outweighs your carbs, is to always have a low carb source of bread. And that's usually what I do, because I like to eat bread with every meal, but in order to weigh it out, I always have like a low carb source. And if you're a regular to my channel, y'all know I either do these low carb tortillas or I do the honey wheat keto bread, anything low carb. And if I do have like a high carb meal, it's probably like pasta, but the pasta have protein in it, just a way to balance it out, which is very helpful when you're trying to reach your protein goal. So let's make this quesadilla, and I'll show y'all the finished product. If anybody was wondering, this is literally how I weigh my food. You could put the container on there and then add it in, and then it'll literally give you the amount of ounces. Y'all, this scale done been through it, so it switches a lot. But it'll give you the amount of, ounces or grams, and then all you do is compare it to the back of the container to figure out how many calories are in your serving. So it tells you how many 3 tablespoons, which is 46 grams, in one serving. So if I was to switch it to C, switch one more time, 172 grams. So basically, you will do that and then just convert it. And in the app, they have it to where you could convert it to grams. Y'all know, like I said, I like to do mine in ounces, and that's pretty much what I do. And then I just log it from there. Okay, so your girl is starving. Let's cook. All right, y'all, so I was moving too slow to put the spinach in there, but this is how I make the quesadilla. Once the egg whites get a little all set, I put the quesadilla on top, and then once it's all, sticking to the quesadilla, the tortilla, I will flip it over and then add everything on one side so that I can just fold it over and let the cheese melt it together. All right, so this is how I look before I fold it over into the quesadilla. As you can see, I got the meat all on one side, and I put the mozzarella cheese on top and the sliced cheese on the bottom. And it's because I love my food extra cheesy. And if you're a person that is very busy throughout the day, like me, I train a lot throughout the day, and plus on top of that, I'm not really hungry until the end of the day. I like a very high calorie, high protein breakfast like this to kind of ease me throughout the day, and I pretty much won't get hungry maybe until after I work out or a little bit later. So this is my breakfast, and I'm gonna show y'all a picture of how I look when I finish. Okay, so here is the finished product, you guys. This is my quesadilla, And 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to add a little jelly because that's what I do. And I will log the jelly as well. But here is the breakfast quesadilla that I love to make, y'all. 3 meat, baby. 3 meat. All right. And let's see how many calories it come out to. And I will show y'all how I log this. All righty, Dottie, you guys. So I trained, I worked out, and it's literally 4 o'clock, and I'm just now eating again. So like I tell y'all, when I'm busy throughout the day, I barely eat. And so this is my second time eating today. And usually, if I'm really, really busy and I barely have time to eat, under eating is not an option for me. I will literally get all those calories in, whether if I have to throw in some dessert, throw in some extra protein, throw in like a protein shake or a protein snack, some Greek yogurt. I would definitely do it because sometimes it's hard for people to eat the amount of calories, especially if you're extra busy, you don't have time. But a lot of ways to sneak those calories in is through drinks, like smooth, like not even smoothies, like this protein drink. I'll throw a lot of protein in drinks wise because you don't really take it as calories. That's like when people go to Starbucks and get like a frappuccino and they don't really think of it as calories, but really in actuality it is. So if you have troubles with eating a lot, and well, not even eating a lot, but eating a certain amount of calories that's given to you to be in a deficit, chug that drink, chug that protein. So for lunch, like almost dinner time technically. So for dinner, my mom made some steak last night, so I'm going to be weighing the steak, and depending on how much steak that I have left, I'm going to weigh the steak. And I also made some shaved Brussels sprouts, kind of sauteed them in a pan. I have those left over. I will weigh everything, and then I might throw in a quesadilla. I'm always calling it a quesadilla. I might throw in a tortilla to go with my steak and make like a steak taco with that on the side, and then we'll see what the calorie amount comes to, because I have a lot to spare right now because your girl is running behind on time. I have another client to train really soon, so I didn't have enough time to make my salmon as planned, but that's okay because I had some steak already cooked, and let's do it. Okay, so for the finished product, the steak ended up coming out to be about 4 ounces, and I will show you guys how I logged that. And this was the side of sauteed shaved Brussels sprouts on the side. I decided not to throw in the tortilla just because I didn't really feel like eating no bread. So here is lunchy lunch. And then I probably drink another protein shake in a little bit just to balance everything off. Not necessarily balance, but make sure I get in all those calories. So yeah, here's lunch. Okay, so just for the sake that after I finish training, it will literally be time for me to cook dinner. After I just ate that lunch, I'm going to chug down. I know it's dark, y'all. I'm walking through the house. But I'm going to chug down this Fairlife protein. And literally, if you're a regular to my channel, y'all know this is my deal. Like, I do these almost every single day. So this is a Fairlife 30 grams protein. Very low carb. It's 3 grams of carbs. And for anybody that wants to know, I'm at about 1,700 calories. I was at about 1,500 for a long time. And I wanted to kind of work my way up into maintenance, so I just increased it over time, and now I'm staying at about 1,700 right now. And we're going to see what happens next. You know, like I treat myself as an experiment so that I can learn and educate you guys on what works and what doesn't work. And of course, everybody's different. So I will be back to show you guys what I will be eating for dinner. Cooking a big dinner for my dad, and I will record his reaction so we can see what he think about my grilled chicken marinara topped with mozzarella, and we will see his reaction, y'all. You guys, so for dinner, I am going to be making marinara chicken with a little mozzarella on top. I got the chicken in the air fryer right about now, so that's what's going right now. And I will show you guys the finished product. Okay, so here is the finished product. Y'all, this is how it looks. This is my daddy serving really bigger than what my serving size would look like, but we trying to feed the men, okay? All right, Daddy, take a first bite. Let's see what he thinks. Come on, Daddy.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all. So here is the finished product. Very messy looking, but I'm telling y'all, it's the truth. And this is made in the air fryer. So as you can see, I have more chicken than pasta. This is about 2 ounces of pasta, and I weighed it. And then I also weighed the sauce, just so I can be as accurate as possible. And I also weighed the mozzarella cheese. Everything is weighed on this plate. And I will show you guys how I log it into my finished pal. And so here is the finished product, and this is what we're eating for dinner, y'all. This is my favorite dish. Working on making it look prettier, but hey, I'm finna demolish it. So yep, this is what we have for dinner. All right, you guys. So my sister always think I'm super weird because literally as soon as I finish dinner, I am ready for dessert, and it's like a craving that I always have. And so instead of fighting it, I just eat the ice cream. So right here for dessert, I'm gonna be doing a Yasso yogurt bar. This is the chocolate chip cookie dough one, y'all. This is literally my favorite. That or the chocolate fudge one, and it's 100 calories. My favorite, and that's what I'm gonna be having for dessert. And that pretty much completes what I eat in a day. This video alone doesn't like give you an overview of what I eat in a day, but if you go check out my other videos, you will roughly see that I eat around the same things all the time, while also throwing in some of the things that I love to eat, like ice cream. So with that being said, come back and mess with your girl. Peace out.